welcome back to Book Club Preview. Today we're looking at The Hobbit, Chapter 17, which could be considered the climax of the book. Defeating Smaug was certainly a climax, and Bilbo going into the mountain. But here, the Battle of the Five Armies, which this becomes known as, happens, which is a huge battle. And it starts off first with Bard and the Elf King and Gandalf going up to Thorin and saying, "Hey, have you changed your mind?" Thorin says no. And then Bard says, "Well, does this change your mind? I will trade it for a 14th share of the treasure." And Thorin is kind of going crazy. He's super angry and he's like, "How did you get it?" And Bilbo says, "Hey, it was me." Bilbo confesses. Man, I would not say anything. Bilbo says, "It was me, I gave it to them." And Thorin grabs him. He's so angry, he almost throws him off the wall. And Gandalf appears, or Gandalf doesn't let himself be known. He's kind of heading, and he throws his hood off and he says, "Thorin, I'm here, and you are hopefully behave better very soon." And Thorin's angry at Gandalf. He's angry at Bilbo. He says, "Fine, take this burglar, take this thief, and I will trade you in silver and gold for the Arkenstone." So Thorin throws Bilbo, lets him go down, and then Bilbo joins the Gandalf, the elves, and the humans. And Thorin is really angry, and he sends a raven to tell his cousin, "Hey, come really fast because they have the Arkenstone and we need to battle these guys." So at nighttime, Dane doesn't sleep. He continues going all through the night. So in the morning time, the dwarves are already really close. The elves and humans try to send some people to talk, but the dwarves are like, "Get out of our way. We want to go see our cousin." Of course, the men and elves can't let that happen. So then they're going to have to battle. They're going to have to fight. Now, the elves and humans have planned out this way that the dwarves are going to come in and they're going to really kill them all. It's going to be pretty sad. But as the dwarves start to charge in for the attack, Gandalf appears out of nowhere right in the middle, and he says, "Stop, everyone! The goblins are here. The goblins are going to come kill us. We have to join forces and fight them." Now, even though the dwarves want to be together, they want to protect the mountain, no one wants the goblins to kill them, right? Everyone hates the goblins. So they end up, these three armies, the humans, the elves, and the dwarves, come together as a team to fight the goblins. So here's kind of how it looks. Okay, it might be a little hard to describe in the book, and this might not be 100% accurate, but the blue is the mountain, okay, and then there's kind of some arms of the mountain, some mountain ranges kind of coming out to form a valley, okay, and that's where the elves and humans are on the sides of the valley. And then maybe in the middle there's like a dwarf wall, okay? And then this little tiny green dot, these poor little guys here, this is the team. Let's see here. Nope, not those guys yet. So this team here, they are used to lure the goblins. Okay, so here's the goblin army. It's huge. And if they were to fight head to head, like fight straight to straight, the elves and humans and dwarves would be defeated. But if they can trick the goblins to coming in this way, then they're going to be able to attack this way with arrows and attack this way with arrows and spears, and going to kind of smush them together. And then they could win because they can just shoot them and shoot them and shoot them and then shoot them and spear them. So this actually works. These poor guys right here in the front, they end up mostly all dying, but they were just some brave men that were willing to act as a bait, we call it. Okay, if you have a fish and you have a hook on it, and the fish bites it, and then you can pull in the fish. So these guys act like the bait. So they're in there. The goblins are coming and killing them. They run away, and the goblins follow them. And then the humans and elves kind of come in to the sides. They start destroying the goblins. The goblins are like, "Oh my goodness, we're gonna lose." The wolves that are following the goblins, or that the goblins are like riding on, they start to go crazy and start attacking each other and the goblins too. I mean, this is looking great. Victory is just about in their sight, except the one thing they were worried about is goblins coming in from the other side, which goblins come around from the other side of the mountain too, and they start overwhelming the humans and elves on the mountainside, because they don't have any defense on this side, right? So the goblins are attacking the part where there's not defended, right? They're back. So then the humans and dwarves and the elves, they're fighting their best, but they're like, "Oh man, we're gonna get taken out. We're gonna die." There's one goblin king or general or whatever called Bog, and Bog is like charging in here, and he has his guards with him that are charging in here. If you watched the movies, they really focus in on this character and his guards. They don't have a lot of time in the book, but at least this guy's around, and he's doing damage, a lot of damage. Well, Thorin and company see this all happening, and eventually they decide, man, we've got to join the battle. They break down their wall and they charge forward. Okay, goblins are like throwing rocks on them from atop, but they charge forward and just start slicing down everything. And they're like, oh my goodness, they're destroying everything in their path. But as their narrow path starts to widen and widen and widen and widen, they're getting deeper, and enemies are going all around them until finally they're just a circle. And they're just a circle fighting goblins on all sides. Eventually, Blog's guards, who are these huge goblins or orcs, they end up riding in here and kind of breaking up Thorin and his team's kind of battle and stuff. But Thorin comes in, and now everyone's just fighting to the death. It still looks pretty bad. Bilbo and Gandalf and a few elves are at like the Raven Tower where the dwarves were at before. It's like a last stand. Gandalf is like mumbling something. He's about ready to do like I'm about ready to die spell. And before he gets it off, Bilbo sees out in the distance. He says, "Whoa, the eagles are coming." And this huge flock of eagles is coming in to join the battle. So we got humans, elves, dwarves, goblins, and maybe you can think of wargs and maybe 2 goblins armies here, and the eagles are coming all in. So this is the battle of 5 armies. And then Bilbo gets hit on the head with a rock, and the chapter ends. All right. So in this chapter, in this chapter, there wasn't a lot of vocabulary words I noticed, but one was bewilderment. We've had this word before. It kind of means like confusion, but in this case, it's meaning like an enchantment. This gold has kind of confused his mind. If you're a guy, okay, imagine seeing this really beautiful woman, okay? Whoa, oh man. Her beauty confuses you, and it makes you kind of charmed by her, okay? If you're a girl, I don't know what would be the equivalent to that. Maybe if you saw your favorite pop star or whatever, your favorite boy band, guy or whatever, you'd be bewildered. But the treasure, right, with that a little bit of that dragon magic, had bewildered Thorin's mind. It kind of confused it and attracted it like a charm or like a spell. Mattox is kind of an axe and a pick. So it's a huge thing with the axe on one side and then a pick on the other. Feel free to Google this. This would be a much better image than I'm going to draw. But here's an axe like this, and then maybe on this side like a pick. So you can kind of go for metal and chop trees down. This is what the dwarves had on their were carrying, so something you don't want to mess around with. And the last expression I have here is in their train. Okay, you can think of like a train, but of course they didn't have trains in this time. And it actually means like following together with them. So if you have a train and there's other cars connected to it and they're being pulled in a line, we say in their train, in their path, following behind or together, right? The wargs are with the goblins. That leaves us with my discussion question, which I don't think you probably want to be in this battle at all, okay? But if you were in the battle, okay, you could be on the right side with all the elves shooting arrows and having spears. You could be on the left side with the humans and dwarves shooting arrows and having spears and axes and stuff. You could be in the middle, that brave group of men, and maybe a few dwarves that were like, man, we're gonna die, but we're gonna trick the goblins into coming in, okay? You can be part of Thorin's company, right? Busting out of the cave, or maybe you're in the tower with Gandalf. I don't know where you want to be. Maybe riding one of the eagles, okay? But if you had to be one of these members of this battle, where would you like to be in this battle, and why, of course? Please make your own discussion question also. And I want to thank you so much for joining me today. That's all the time we have. I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.